normally don't talk about Twitter on here or Elon Musk things.
Perhaps.
But I have to mention, I'm not a fan of this new X thing.
Oh yeah, no, neither is no one else.
Yeah, well, I don't really fancy what looks like a porn app on my home screen.
That's fair. It still hasn't
and
changed.
I can't rename it. Oh yeah, it changed for me a couple days ago, the mobile app.
Yeah, app icon is still like the bird, but when I open it, it like flashes me with the X.
Oh yeah, so you've gotten halfway. Eventually it'll just go X and get the black screen with the X logo on it.
Partial.
Which is also stupid.
Awful. It's not even a good X.
It's not even a good name. Why? What is X?
X. My website, X.
Like, what is this branding?
X.
Why would you get rid of one of the most one of the most iconic logos in the bird?
The most iconic, just everything. Twitter had it all. They made a new word and it stuck.
He didn't need, like, when he bought it, all he had to do was minor improvements, like getting rid of the bots.
Yeah, and he didn't even do that.
That was it.
They're worse.
And he didn't. Yeah. They're just, like, different now. They're verified bots.
Yeah. Now I can't escape them.
You can't get rid of them.
Every now and then I'll check my messages just to see if I got any, like, commission requests or anything, and I'll have, like, 30 messages just from bots. I used to get, like, none. Yeah.
And to see your messages half the time, you have to, like, pay for it.
Oh, yeah, now.
I heard that, like, you don't see your messages most of the time unless you're, like, a subscriber.
Yeah, they put it in as a setting, like, only verified users can message me, and you cannot turn it off. Like, if you turn it off, they'll just turn back on.
Awful.
How do you ruin a website so severely? And now,
it was going so well.
He already overpaid for it, and now he's in the negatives. The deep negatives.
Now he's just ruining it for everybody else.
Now he's got, did you see, like, the sign they put up on, because they replaced the Twitter sign on the, like, HQ? And it's a big, bright-ass X that strobes, and it's facing, like, an entire apartment building.
Awful. What a waste.
That night, like, the pictures, it just looks like a fucking star.
Terrible. Welcome, everybody, to episode 84 of Your Ridiculous...
Whoa. What was that?
It was a woo.
Hardly.
It was one woo for the audience.
I see.
Last week, we talked about Heavenly Delusion.
We did indeed.
Good summertime anime that you should watch, and we recommend.
Yeah. Maybe now it's fixed on Hulu.
Maybe.
Fuck around and buy the Blu-ray.
Maybe all the episodes actually line up and they don't cut out important plot points. Oh, maybe he'll find his sister. She's dead. What? God.
Essential.
Tilts me every time. This week, though, no more Heavenly Delusion. We're going to be talking about internet's newest favorite movie, Barbie.
Yeah.
Who knew this would be what it is?
Yeah, it started as a meme and then everyone saw it and they loved it.
And we'll talk about it. You'll get to know if we like it or not.
Yeah.
Did you actually watch it?
No, I didn't get the chance. But
you are the worst.
My sister saw it, and the night she saw it, she gave me a detailed play-by-play of what happened because she liked it that much. So I can tell you everything that happened.
All right, go for it. Barbie, take it away.
So Barbie, I think it's played by, what's her name, Margot Robinson.
Margot Robbie.
She's like Harley Quinn, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
Robinson.
Robinson. It sounded right.
You're close.
Yeah, she plays Barbie, and so there's Barbie World, and that's where all the Barbies and Kens are.
Barbie Land.
No, Barbie Land.
Yeah, it's not a world. Well, it is a world, but it's a land.
And then there's the real world.
There is.
And every Barbie and Barbie Land has like, well, not everyone, but most of them, or some of them have like a real life counterpart. And our Barbie, main character Barbie, she's one of the ones that has a real life counterpart. And there's the one that are based on like real people, and they will change based on like what's going on with the real people too.
You're not entirely wrong.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
Well, it's not so much that they're based on real people. It's that Mattel, the company that like owns Barbie.
Yeah.
Like the Barbies exist in Barbie Land as like dolls and stuff, but they're like living
Yeah.
and stuff. But like there's not a direct counterpart in the real world.
Is it okay?
And so then like in the real world they're just sold as dolls.
I see.
But they're not like based off of like a living person or anything. And
Well,
there's no like
some Barbies have to, because some Barbies are real people.
Well, no, Barbies are Barbies. That's who they are.
But like some Barbies are like the toy Barbies. They are real people.
No, they're Barb. What do you mean
Like-
real people?
like-
Are you saying like Barbie doctor is like based off of like a doctor or someone specific?
Not that specific one, but yes, that's essentially what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're saying generally there like is a Dr. Barbie and
For example.
there are doctors.
No, there is.
That-
I'd say like say we're sticking with the same example. That
Okay.
there's the Dr. Barbie, and Dr.
Right.
Barbie the toy is based off
Yeah.
real person McDoctor face.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like someone famous, but not like a Barbie.
Yeah.
And not like, not like, yeah. That is the case.
Okay.
Okay, keep going. Well, I mean, you made it sound like Barbie real world and Barbie in Barbie Land. They're the same,
Well,
they're not.
good. Well, we clarified. Now the audience knows.
Now the audience knows because they didn't know before.
And Barbie, she feels off. Her vibe's not right.
It's true.
She does a
Good.
musical number, and in the midst of apparently the soundtrack's really good, according to my
The soundtrack
boss.
is spectacular.
In the middle of one of her music numbers, she's like, "Man, don't you guys ever feel like paraphrase? Don't you guys feel like you want to die sometimes?"
No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
There's a pause. And she's like, "Never mind," and she keeps going, but she's off. Her vibe's off.
She's. I think the quote was like, "Does anyone feel like dying?" And then it stops for like literally like 30 seconds. And she's like, I don't know why I said that. I meant dying to dance. And then the soundtrack starts again.
Moving on.
It's so good.
And then like, and the core of the issue of why Barbie spontaneously is having a depressive episode is because the toy Barbie that she's equivalent to out in the real world belongs to some teenage schmuck who's not having a great time. I think that's the gist of it.
So yeah, it's the Barbie toy in the real world did belong to some teenage schmuck. The teenage schmuck is now in high school, grew up a bit, and is going in that like alt depresso, I hate everyone,
emo
the world is
phase.
against me. So, yeah. And now hates everything, including her mom. And the mom is the one not having a good time.
And then the mom works
and so the mom,
Mattel.
the mom works at Mattel, and starts drawing pictures of stereotypical Barbie, so every Barbie has like a name, like Dr. Barbie, Beach Barbie. Yeah. And so this one is just called Stereotypical Barbie. This is Margot Robbie. If you think of a Barbie, this is probably the first one you're going to think of. It was also the first design.
The Barbie.
Yeah, it was the Barbie.
I like how original Barbie gets to be called stereotypical Barbie.
I know, they had to justify it. And so the mom is not having a good time. So to remember good times when her kid didn't hate her, basically.
Yeah.
She starts playing with the Barbies that they were supposed to throw out. And so that so her feelings and the drawings that she starts drawing starts affecting Barbie in Barbie Land.
I see.
And she's like, I have thoughts of death. I have, her feet go flat.
Oh.
Which is a huge deal because like she takes off her heels, but they're still like on heels.
Yep.
They're like all curved like Barbie feet are. But then they go flat.
Unnatural.
She gets cellulite in her legs, which is really funny.
Our Barbie's turned into a MILF.
And so to fix this, she goes to what's called Weird Barbie.
Yep.
Which is the Barbie that has been played with too hard by kids. Like young kids start drawing on them and they cut their hair off. And so they just named this Barbie in Barbie Land Weird Barbie.
Poor Weird Barbie.
And she literally is like a sage.
Naturally.
She's like a a mystic or something, like Barbie Land's version of a sage or an elder mystic.
Right.
And it's like, I have all the knowledge you need. Here's how to leave Barbie Land and go to the real world and deal with your problems.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the rest of it is like her dealing with the problems, her going back to Barbie Land with the adults.
Ken becomes a misogynist.
He does. Ken goes with her.
Yeah.
Because they both start having existential crises. Margot's is about Barbie's is about the death thoughts and other things.
Yeah.
And Ken's like, well, who am I if not with Barbie? So I have to go with her.
Right.
Because I'm just Ken, and there's never been just Ken. It's always Barbie and Ken, so I have to go with her. And then Ken learns about horses and patriarchy and how men rule the world.
He was like, let me get some of that.
Yeah, literally. So he goes to the school library while Barbie's talking to the parent and the kid that hates everything. And Ken's like, finds like 5 books that he just carries around about patriarchy and how men rule the world. And then he's like, I have to bring this to Barbie Land. The other Kens must know. And so he just leaves and goes back to Barbie Land and turns it into a patriarchal society.
Spread the good word.
Literally. He turns it into a fucking bromance land.
Amazing.
So yeah, and then it's like, then sort of the ending is like Barbie escaping Mattel, and then Mattel comes to Barbie Land, and Will Ferrell is the CEO.
Wow.
That was so weird.
I hear there was another escaped Barbie before
There
her.
was. Yep. There was, and she's in there, but so yeah, Mattel had to like put the escaped Barbie in a box to keep it from like people learn because the company knows about Barbie Land.
Yeah, naturally. Did they make Barbie Land, or is it just like a side effect?
I think it was a side effect of making Barbie.
Interesting. Powerful.
And they don't really talk about it much. They just like, yeah, Mattel knows it exists, but nobody else can know because then Barbie will be ruined.
Yeah.
And Michael Cera's there as Alan.
Wow. Who's Alan?
And Alan is Ken's friend. Like literally, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm Ken's buddy. And so he's like, I'm Alan. Alan is here too.
The deep Barbie lore.
Exactly. And so then Ken starts bromancing with all the other Kens. They start brainwashing the Barbies and turning them into like housewives, basically.
Yeah.
And then Barbie, along with the non-brainwashed Barbies and Weird Barbie,
naturally
have to undo the brainwashing. And then it's not so much Ken is evil.
Yeah.
But you find out later on his reasoning was he has no idea who he is without Barbie. And so he wanted to be the center point of everything.
Ken World or Ken Land.
Ken Land, yeah. And so he's like, he goes through his own existential crises. Barbie starts helping him. He's like, you're Ken. And he's like, Ken is me. Ken is me. And he starts like
Baba
singing,
is you.
and they break out into dance. There's an amazing musical number with all the Kens. It is so good because they start fighting at first.
Yeah.
The two Kens, Simu Liu, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's Shang-Chi in the Marvel movie. He's one of the other main Kens, and they're kind of going at it throughout the whole movie. And in this one, they have a big battle, like who's going to be top Ken, basically. And so the musical number is like them sort of doing like a dance off at first.
Oh, nice.
But then it goes into like, you know, them grouping together and like, you know, we can't abandon the Kendom.
The Kendom.
And then, you know, they come to this realization that, you know, even without Barbie, they're enough. They're their own person. They are Ken. That's who they are. It's not Barbie and Ken. It's Barbie and it's Ken.
So found themselves. All of them.
Yeah, and so the ending wraps up Ken's story. Basically, he realizes that he is Ken-uff. And that he brings his own Kenergy. And Barbie, all the brainwashing goes away, and they kind of go back to their mostly old Barbie land, but the Kens do get to hold a position of office now, which they did not before.
Ah, what a thrill.
I think they get to be judges or something.
Ah.
He's like, one of the Kens is like, can one of the Kens be a Supreme Court justice? And the mayor's like, no, we can't allow that, but we can give you like a court position or something. And he's like, I'll take it. And throughout the whole show, Meryl Streep, a very famous actress, is narrating different aspects of it for some reason.
Fascinating.
And she's like, well, the Kens had to start somewhere. It was so good. But they were pumped about it. They were jazzed. Because they had never anything before. So.
Nothing to something.
That's right. And then finally, sort of wrapping up Barbie's story, is that she decides that she's no longer stereotypical Barbie.
Ooh.
She's character development evolved. And that Ruth, I forget her last name, but basically the woman that created Barbie.
Yeah.
There's a ghost of her in Mattel.
Ghost!
And Barbie talks with Ruth, like before she escapes Mattel.
Yeah.
And they have a very nice conversation. And Ruth is basically saying, you're everything you're supposed to be. I remember you. And he's like, here's how to leave. And Barbie's like, you're so nice. Thank you so much. And then at the very end, when they're sort of wrapping everything up, Barbie's like, I don't know what I want to be. And the ghost of Ruth comes to Barbie Land. And she's like, let's go talk for a second. And then she takes Barbie to some, I don't know where, some place that's not Barbie Land, but also not like existence.
A third land.
It's like nothingness. It's like it's the set that the Kens were having their dance battle on.
Interesting.
And so they start talking. It's like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? And she's like, I think I want to feel. I want the emotion. I want to be human.
Ooh.
I don't want to be Barbie anymore. Or it's not that I don't want to be Barbie anymore. It's that I'm not Barbie anymore.
Yeah.
I'm something more than Barbie. And I can do
Weird
better
Barbie
things.
Part 2.
Exactly. And so something awesome was like, well, let me show you what you're getting into before. Let me help you feel. And so then they do this sort of interesting artistic thing where they start showing real clips of what looked like home video footage from like 1990.
Interesting.
Of humans, like just existing.
Vibing.
It was kids playing, kids on vacation, adults just like hanging out. And that went on for like a minute and a half or something. And it starts flashing back and forth, and like Barbie's sort of realizing what this is, and she starts crying because she's feeling all human emotions. And she's like, yeah, this is exactly what I fucking want, basically.
Love that.
And she's like, she says to Ruth, like, I'm sorry to disappoint you. And one of the best quotes that comes out of a Barbie movie was, hang on. I don't want to paraphrase because it was good.
I want it. It's, it sounds like, do you know The Giver?
I do.
It's like that scene from The Giver, except it's not tragic.
That's true. This was much less sad.
Oh, man.
So Ruth's quote to Barbie was, we mothers stand still so that our daughters can look back and see how far they've come. I'm like, this is Barbie. Why is there so deep and emotional quotes like this?
You find the deepest quotes in the randomest places.
Right? And it's like Ken's like, first off, you think it's like, oh, he's just dealing with patriarchy and typical like white male power and everything.
Yeah, he's a friend.
But then it's like,
but then he wasn't.
Right. Yeah. And then it's just like, actually it's like, oh, you know, men need to know who they are besides just like the, you know, the former identity that somebody else assigned to them.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of these like really good messages that like, you know, just being yourself is enough. Because Ken was in love with Barbie, but Barbie didn't love Ken.
Right. That's how
that
it
was
goes.
sort of, the whole thing. But anyways, it was really good.
Sounds like it.
It was, if you're on the fence about seeing this, or just at first aren't interested, I'd really recommend giving it a watch. It was fun. It only had like one cringe scene And the cringe scene wasn't even that like bad. It was just like, okay, why is Will Ferrell's character an idiot?
Because it's Will Ferrell.
But that's kind of just, I know, that's just kind of what the characters he plays most of the time. I didn't really get why like Mattel was run by like utter morons, but it was still kind of funny.
It's just art reflecting life. Just look at Twitter.
So true. Unfortunately, very true. But yeah, it was really good. Also, the cast is spectacular.
Ooh.
Ryan Gosling, by the way, stole the show.
Who was he? Who was
like?
Oh, was he Ken?
He was Ken.
Yeah. I remember.
Margot Robbie, 10 out of 10, did a fantastic job. Both of them should win awards.
True.
For like Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor. They were really good. And there's a lot of good memes in there. I am Kenuff. That's great.
Everyone loves that one.
Love that. That's a great one. Yeah. Also, America Ferrera was in it for some reason.
Who's that?
She's an actress that was more so famous at like between like 2005 and 2012.
I see.
And she's here for some reason.
I don't even have that.
Michael Cera was in it.
I am.
for some reason.
Yeah, he knew the gold it was going to be.
Would you like to know who had the most random appearance?
Sure.
John Cena was in it.
What?
Yep. He was a Ken, not surprising, but guess which type of Ken?
What type?
Mermaid Ken.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
I know. There was a really great scene. So all the Barbies have jobs and all the Kens have jobs.
Yeah.
In Barbie Land. And the primary Ken, his job is beach. He's Beach Ken. And so he's like, there's a lot of jokes. Ken's like trying to convince Barbie to let him come with him. And he's like, but Barbie, what if you encounter beach? You're gonna need someone that knows beach like I do. You're gonna need a professional.
Yeah, especially she's going to LA.
Right. She goes to LA and then they rollerblade in.
Of course they do.
To the world. That's how you get into LA from Barbie.
They
rollerblading. Well, so it's like a series of traveling. You have to like start in the car on the highway, and then you go to like a boat, and then a rocket ship, and then
showcase all the Barbie transportation.
Exactly, and then there's like Winter Wonderland ski Barbie, and then the final one is how you get out of Barbie Land, which is rollerblading.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was really funny. But so, anyways, they rollerblade and they get to the Venice Beach, actually.
Yeah.
And he's like, "See, there's beach. You're glad I'm here." And then later on, Ken's like sort of doing his own thing while Barbie tries to fix the men between the mom and the daughter.
Yeah.
And he's like not only researching patriarchy and horses and different things. He saw a commercial that was basically like cowboys on horses, and he was really into it throughout the whole movie.
Horse guy Ken.
Exactly. And so he tries to like get different jobs, and he's like, tries to become a doctor, and that was hysterical scene. Did not become a doctor. He said he wanted a clicky pen. And he was saying that since he learned about patriarchy, that he couldn't talk to a woman doctor because that wasn't allowed, apparently. It was a bit misogynistic, but not in like a bad way.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's like some people are gonna be like, "How is that not misogyny or whatever?" Like, it is, but there was no malice towards it, and it was like. Way. And Ken's also just literally learned what this is like 20 minutes ago. Yeah. So, anyways, the whole point that I've been working towards is that he goes to the Venice Beach and he's like, "I need a job." He talks to a lifeguard, and the lifeguard's like, "Well, do you have any training?" And Ken's like, "No, that wasn't my job before." And he's like, "Well, what'd you do?" He's like, I worked on beach. This is where I'll be." And he just starts pointing at the sand. And she's like, "Well, how does that help me? I need, lifeguard with people who are trained." And he's like, "Well, I've never been trained to do that. I can't even swim."
I think this Ken got misassigned.
No, it's just beach. That's all he needs. He's the professional.
Just the beach, not the ocean.
That's right. He wasn't the lifeguard. He couldn't perform any sort of CPR on anybody.
Can he build a sandcastle?
Presumably. It never came up, but I bet he could. It was really good. Surprisingly good.
Yeah. This could have been like a shitty cash grab, and they put passion into it. And I love to see that.
They really did, which was awesome to see. I'm tired of the cash grab movies.
Yeah. What a age. All other future nostalgia movies, take notes.
That's right.
Nostalgia is no longer enough.
Yeah, we need passion projects.
What was your...
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
No.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment?
Honestly, probably the dance battle with the Kens was really funny. Pretty much any scene that Ryan Gosling was in was hilarious. It was he really did a great job of keeping the movie entertaining.
Quality.
But also Michael Cera is like he's a scrawny dude, right? And he's not very tall. I mean, he's like average height, I guess. And he's like Alan is the sort of thing. Ken's buddy.
Yeah.
And he has a scene where he wants to escape Barbie Land and go to the real world because he said he's tired of sitting on plastic chairs, basically. And so the Kens start building a wall to cut off the highway.
Yeah.
And Michael Cera's like, as soon as they start building that wall horizontally instead of vertically, we're going to be in for a problem. And so they're just building it upwards and not sideways to block people because they don't know how to build a wall.
Just up.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, as soon as they start building it horizontally.
Oh, man.
It was so good. That was really funny. And then the scene after that, the Kens or not the scene, but like the next thing that happens in that scene, the Kens start getting suspicious.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?" And Michael Cera beats up all 8 of them.
The ultimate Ken.
Yeah. It was really funny. Also, Weird Barbie is played by Kate McKinnon. She was also really, really good.
Who else is she?
I'm not sure. I recognize the face, but she was in Ghostbusters. She's from Saturday Night Live. She was in the Angry Birds movie.
Wow. The Angry Birds movie.
She's one of the voice actresses.
What a hit.
I know. So I recognize the face, but she was great. Really good.
Nice.
Overall, I'd rate this probably a 9 out of 10.
High praise.
Yeah, it was really, I'd watch it again, actually.
Nice.
It was
Can't
great.
wait to watch it for the first time.
I know, you're gonna love it. You have to fill us in next episode.
Get my visual thoughts.
Yeah, we'll do like a 5-minute thing for you to talk about it or something.
Can you believe we almost did an Oppenheimer episode?
Oh my god, I watched that today. The episode would have been so bad. It just would have been depressing, honestly. Did you watch Oppenheimer?
I did not.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it.
I didn't realize it was apparently 3 hours long.
It is 3 hours and 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
They needed that one last minute. Yeah, you by all means, if you want to go see it, but I do not think you'll like it.
Me about to get canceled because I'm making jokes about Oppenheimer.
It is a movie that is very pretty political, especially towards the end, with a lot of names.
Oh God.
And they're historical names. They're not just like Fred and Todd made up names. They're like, it's actual people that they're talking about because it's obviously all taking place in history.
Yeah.
And so they use first names, last names. A lot of the times it's just the last name, so you have to know who the person is.
I wouldn't know.
The movie was great. Probably also a 9 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. But I know a lot of people won't like it just because it's very involved.
Right.
It's a lot. And it's also at times hard to deal with some of it.
Right. Intense movie.
Yeah, it is a very intense movie, but very good if that's up your alley.
I saw what do you call it?
I'm very glad we didn't talk about it though on the show.
Mood. I saw like a Reddit post about it, and that they were like, this was kind of a heavy movie, so I wrote in all the parts where they could have put funny quips to lighten the mood.
Oh my god, that would have been awful.
Oh man,
there were actually some funny moments, but it's not at all the point.
They were like, make Oppenheimer, but it's a Marvel movie.
God. Yeah. Also, yeah, I'm not gonna get too far into it, but it was good.
Nice.
Barbie is definitely the one to watch if you only watch one. And I didn't do the Barbenheimer viewing.
Fair.
Where you watch both of them because I'm not a maniac.
Yeah. And it turns out right to watch Barbie first because then you're going to a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And insanity.
That was a lot. It is. All right.
Ah.
Enough about Barbie, or I'll wrap it up. Really good.
Achoo.
Great cast. Great musical. Or not musical, but like musical numbers. Yeah. Great, surprisingly good, deep, emotional story. Well, relatively deep for what it is. 10 out of 10, or 9 out of 10 would recommend.
Nice.
Really, really nice. And then next week, if Wolf has seen it by then, we'll do like a 5 or 10 minute little thing where Wolf can
little recap.
I know you're gonna enjoy some stuff that I didn't mention.
Ooh.
So really good. All right, but we have a question of the week from Rain. Wolf, what is it?
You are being turned into a living toy, Toy Story style, and it is how you will live out the rest of your days. What kind of toy would you want to be turned into? Plush toy, a figurine, an action figure, or a doll?
Excellent question. I have one clarifying question.
Sure.
If I am turned... Actually, do you want to go first or do you want me first?
You go first.
Okay, so I'm going to choose this as my choice either way.
Okay.
But I'm curious as to how far I can go with it. So I would choose to be a Transformer.
Okay.
Because, 1, I had them as a kid and really liked them. 2, I could always transform into different things.
I don't think that's how Transformers work.
Sure it is. What do
they
you
transform into one thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. But I meant like I could be the action figure or I could be the vehicle.
Yeah, okay.
Like that sort. I could go back and forth. My question is, if I'm like Starscream is a fighter jet.
Yeah.
He's one of the like Decepticon Transformers.
I know.
And so did you?
I do. Not that I watch Transformers, but an artist I follow makes a lot of Transformers porn.
That is unfortunate.
It is fascinating.
I bet. I will not doubt it. Send me some Starscream porn.
Sure. As a treat.
But I would, as punishment, I'd pick Starscream. Or maybe if I pick Starscream, would I be able to fly around or do I just have to stay on the wheels?
I think you'd be able to fly around. Can't they fly in Toy Story? Like Buzz can't fly because he naturally, but the other ones can.
Right. But like, the things that fly can. I think.
Yeah. Then yeah.
There's just not that many of them. But I think like if they have the capability to do such things, they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to be like actually Starscream. I want to be like myself.
Yeah. That's how it works in Toy Story.
Right. But so I would pick some sort of like flying thing, maybe some sort of jet. I don't think I want to be a helicopter because I'd like start decapitating the other toys. But...
Take them out.
So yeah, I'd pick some sort of like jet or rocket or something cool.
Nice.
What about you?
I'd be a doll. But I don't have a specific doll in mind. Dolls get treated pretty well.
Unless you're weird Barbie.
That one's unfortunate. But like plush toys, weird shit's always happening to those. I don't want to be one.
Yeah, that's too sus.
Action.
You don't want to be a squishmallow?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Oh god, have you seen that? Like, I know you haven't, but there's like
safe bet, probably not.
There's this like a brony who had like a custom made plush toy. I think it was either Rainbow Dash or no, it was Rarity. She's the white horse, purple hair.
I actually know who Rarity is.
She had like it's not life size, but it was pretty big, and it was like modified to have to be also a pocket
Okay.
pussy.
Oh, of course it was. That is. I like that you started asking, like, never mind.
Yeah,
I
I know you don't know. Gonna hear to enlighten you.
Oh, man.
Man.
Did you like that picture? The picture I sent of you of the guy who spent $20K to become a Rottweiler?
Yeah.
Just like turn himself into a dog.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
God.
Money to blow. Just give it to me.
Yeah. So some sort of doll. You'd say.
Yeah.
Would you want to be like a plushie doll or more like a Barbie doll?
I don't want to be one of those combo
actually,
ones. Almost like a Bratz doll.
Oh yeah.
Because they're partial plastic, but they've got a bit of like softness to them.
They do.
What's that one doll that's got like the really long limbs?
A Stretch Armstrong?
No, I think it's a Raggedy Ann doll. I want to be that style of doll.
I actually own Raggedy Ann dolls.
That's amazing. No, it's not her. Her limbs aren't long enough.
I was gonna say that's old school. My sister owns Raggedy Ann and I have Raggedy Andy.
Oh, the duo.
That's right. I want to know what doll you're talking about now.
I'm trying to quickly look for it.
Old toys, dolls. Here we go.
They've got like.
This is what the people came to hear.
They've got like rubber normal feet and like hands and a head. And it's just like their limbs that are soft. And then the torso is like plastic too.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I don't know what they're called.
Same.
Though.
Oh, why? And it doesn't. Google's useless
hang
now.
on. Is it this? It's one of these, right? I think. Oh, it's loading.
Waiting. While I'm waiting, Google's so fucking useless now. Oh yeah, something like that. Not her, but something like this.
Yeah. No, this one's ugly, but yeah, something like that because their bodies are firm.
Yeah.
And then they have like the stuffed arms.
Yeah, stuffed flappy arms. Love it.
What flappy arms? Why would you want to be a doll like this doll though?
I like the long arms, Mikila. Okay. And I like the combination of like materials.
You do like the limbs, the lanky limbs.
I do like lanky limbs.
Interesting. What would Rain be?
She might be some type of figurine. She seems like someone who doesn't want to be played with. A toy that doesn't want to be played with.
She's the magic 8-ball that we talked about. Rain is a slinky that gets tangled in the first 10 minutes. Oh no!
Spends the rest of the movie tangled. Oh, she could be a sky dancer.
That's a different movie. What is a sky dancer?
It's like this toy that has it's like aerodynamics, and when it spins, it goes up in the air.
Sky. Okay, well now it's just coming up as. Oh, okay. This is what you're talking about. I've never seen this.
Oh.
Interesting. Teaching me about old toy lore.
Indeed.
Huh. Interesting. Did nobody play with these?
They had a short lifespan. There's a lot of like funny memes with them because you'd like launch them and they'd end up somewhere unfortunate, like a fire or the oven.
Speaking of launching something somewhere unfortunate, I mean, you know that I sounds weird, but you know I grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
And so one of my I was 10, maybe 12 years old at the time, and I got as a present one year for my birthday, I got a model rocket that you could build, but also relaunch. You just have to put the ignition stuff back in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And so you could launch it, do cool things with it again, launch it
toy.
again.
Jeez.
Yeah. And so I launched it, and the first time it literally went 200 feet in the air to the point where I could no longer see it.
God.
And my father was there there, and we both lost it, and we eventually found it years later in the depths all the way back of the cornfield.
Wow. And
that was 100 feet from where it was launched.
That thing went on a journey.
And I found it, and it was had been rolled over by different machines doing corn things several times. So safe to say I never launched it again. I had that one launching time and I never got to play with it.
You got your money back. It wasn't relaunchable at all.
I spent a month building it. And then I got to launch it for a cool, I got to enjoy it for a cool 2 minutes before it just said, all right, I'm going to head out.
You built it too good.
Put too much launch juice into it.
It went to actual space.
It did. All right, Wolf, take it away.
I'm Wolf, taking things away. Thank you for watching episode 84 of You're Ridiculous. If you liked all that, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, and be sure to hit the bell so you get notified of the next episode. If you're watching on a podcast website, be sure to hit the plus and give us 5 stars to support the show. You can like all that. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us across the internet, the main cast at ridiculous_cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Lucas at 7 Angry Wasps with an E, and you can follow me at Rainbow Does without the W. We hope to see you guys all again next week. Until then, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.